Yo, I just sent my mom a picture of Noah Ambrosio and myself that I sent my dad a while back. The difference is now the community that was harboring Alessandra and Noah and Anja Ambrosio, who I believe again are my biological children, that community burned down. And in fact, in this picture, it's a comparison picture between Noah and myself. We're like me at the same age. We look very similar. Noah also has, some of his mother's influence as far as his looks, but he looks a lot like me. And he's wearing his Palisades basketball jersey in this one. But I just wanted to send it to my mom and then go down and be like, hey, I just want to tell you, like, hey, look at this. I think, again, I've sent you stuff before about this kid, and I think I still believe he's my biological son. And now the difference is that the community, like, very clearly something in, you know, intense has happened as far as this community that has been, keeping them. Like, basically, his home community has burned down. And that's partially because I think they're participating. And let me go down. One of the things is I don't like that Apple changed the control that you can pause fucking video and you can't remove the control to pause video. It doesn't make sense to me. So I accidentally paused. My bad. Why didn't your phone show that you have? I'm gonna see if I can fix this real fast. Your phone didn't tell you that you have messages. That has to be something that you. Oh, that's why. You're only on critical alerts. This is why it doesn't tell you that you have messages.
Well, it ought to be.
Okay, no, stop. It ought to be critical alerts are not on. You want to allow notifications, time sensitive notifications, in fact. So, always deliver immediately. But you want to allow notifications. So I've changed this. You turned off your messages. That's why you don't ever get messages from me or other people unless you go and check your messages. Notice how it says 7 messages there now. So, okay. I just wanted to show you this, right? I like, you know, we don't have to have this be a row about anything. But does this kid look like me? On the left, and I'm on the right, and we're
You showed me this kid before, and I don't know whether to say yes or no because I don't really think so.
okay. Well, I'll put it like this: he's wearing a Palisades basketball shirt. You know, their community just burned down for some reason. I wonder why that is. I'm trying to tell you, I think something really evil has happened, and I think that the adults around them are responsible. But
I don't know. I don't know where you found this picture of this kid. I don't know where.
on Instagram, the woman that I've been telling you, I think something's going on where they're using her in a really evil way against me. But I can't force you to believe it. If you don't believe it, just put the phone down and whatever. But
Okay.
um, you know, I do think when it comes out that yes, that is your grandson. I just think that it'll make sense then when you look at him and go, oh well, damn, he does look exactly like Matt. Even the AI would say that we look alike. But okay,
That's what I thought. I don't think so.
hypothetical situation. I've asked you one last time, like to say a hypothetical. What if they are your grandkids? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just like put it in your head. Maybe hypothetically they are. what, I think that would, and that some people are using them in the capacity that I'm saying, it would make sense of, that there's something going on behind the scenes as far as like what's going on in the world, and it's, you're more important than you maybe realize. I'm more important than you maybe realize, and um, people are aware that this is happening, and like I just said, he's wearing a Palisades basketball shirt. His school burned down. Like these kids' school burned down. Their community burned down. Like they live right outside Palisades in Santa Monica. All like basically up to their neighborhood burned down. So just
How do you know that?
how do I know where they live?
Yeah.
Because his mother's on like the. You can literally look up the address because she's a famous person. So hypothetically, if he is my kid, it would make sense, like what I'm saying, where people are trying to lie to you. We're more important of a family than you realize. We're important enough for them to attack in a really evil, twisted kind of way, and it not only didn't work. Like what I've been saying about this is something that is like even the news and stuff know about it, but they don't want to talk about it because it would mean something really. It would mean a scandal to the next nth degree. You know what I mean? An order of magnitude bigger than any scandal I've ever heard of. I know it is unthinkable, and you don't want to think about it. But if it's real, like it's just not going to be fun to come back on this. But okay, I love you. Thanks. One thing that should be obvious and apparent is I like my mom can be kind of an idiot, right? As far as the thing, literally had to show her like again just a moment ago. Here's the scan folder for your computer. When you make scans, it will always go into this folder. When you scan something in through your scanner printer, it always goes in this folder. This is something I showed her before, so I don't know. She like I don't get how she's a very competent lawyer, but then also sometimes just a complete idiot. I don't believe it. I think she knows something's going on and doesn't want to admit it. Why? Because if she admits it, I've been right on everything for years. She's been dead wrong. She's been so wrong. It's literally the end of the Bible, and she's been a negligent mother who's been focused on all sorts of other bullshit other than what I actually need. We have enough we have enough money she could stop working for a while, probably just actually retire, and like if we didn't just spend money stupidly, she'd be fine. You know what I mean? But if people weren't stealing from us. But the picture that I sent of Noah Ambrosio and myself is like here, hold on. Do I have it somewhere on? It's the one where it's like it's a picture of me when I'm 12 next to Noah when he's as the age he is now. And it's a picture from this summer when he was playing basketball at Palisades Recreation Center or something. I'm assuming that burned down. And he looks a lot like me. I don't really give a fuck what my mom says on this one. She doesn't even know how to find the scan folder on her computer. At this point, I can't really trust her capabilities or whatever. Like, I don't. So, I mean, very clearly, I believe what I believe. I don't think their community would burn down randomly if they weren't doing something fucking super evil. And that they weren't, if these aren't my kids, like when she's saying he doesn't look like me, that's just wrong. I'll say this. You can look at the face and say, well, he doesn't have certain features of mine. However, when you look at him at 12, he has like every one of my features. I don't know what, mixed with his mom's features too, mixed with Alessandra Ambrosio's features. So I'm like, I guess he has kind of Asian looking eyes. I don't know what they call those because, obviously she's not Asian, or I don't think. I think she's like Polish and whatever, Brazilian and shit. But like, like she's Brazilian, but her background is like Polish and I don't know, Italian and some bullshit. Um, so when I say some bullshit, I'm not like, I just don't know what her genetic makeup is. You can go online and look it up, and that's why I even say like Polish Italian, but something like that. But he does not like, he looks like me. I don't really give a fuck. Like, and it's, you can tell a lot in the nose. You can tell a lot in like his face fat literally matches my face fat, especially at that age. Like our face fats, like where our cheeks do the thing, not everybody's does that. That's part of this. So like when I'm saying an AI, I think could say what it is. I don't put it past an AI that exists now. I don't put it past AIs that exist now. I think if AI scanned what is going on with me and then looked through their private communications, like Alessandra's private communications, it would be really obvious. Because I don't, if my stuff isn't private, their stuff isn't private. It's just I can't see it because something's going on with them. But I think it had to be allowed by probably the presidents. So I think they've been protecting whatever this is going on with. And I don't expect that to change with Trump, actually. But whatever, that's a different story for another day. I also think Alessandra lives right near where Kamala Harris lives in Brentwood. Like, she lives in Brentwood, and Alessandra lives in Santa Monica, like right near the border of like Brentwood and Pacific Palisades. So the fact that Pacific Palisades burned down and Brentwood was under threat, and so was like, I think they're still in the evacuation corridor. Like, if we go to Palisades Fire and we go to Cal Fire, they might still be in a warning area. Like, look, this is still Palisades Fire, right? Okay, they changed it to it's now an evacuation warning, but it was in a, they were in the, it was an evacuation. Wait, maybe. I think it was an evacuation, like they were, um, what am I trying to say? I think it was an evacuation, like a mandatory evacuation order, and then I think they've changed it more recently. But look at the community, right? Like, this is the community again that was essentially harboring Alessandra, and they still kind of are, right? That is using Alessandra to do this. I'm going to suggest that's why pretty much the entire community burned down, and that they know about it. And like Anja's friends, like Helena Gabrielson and Kiki Perrin, and there's other celebrity people that I think went to this, were from this, that are participating and have been participating. There's a number of people from Los Angeles, but that are like in my story and pictures, and were like, for the past 3.5 years have been taunting me, thinking that, like, I don't know, nothing, that they're untouchable and that nothing would happen. And then, coming to the realization that I could figure out more than even, like, hypothetically I didn't know at the time, which I think Yahweh kind of put it in me. Like, there's no reason, I have no clue exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have been doing this shit had I not had some kind of inkling of some idea that these people are doing something evil. And I still believe they're doing something evil. I don't expect it to change with Trump. I think the presidents seemingly are all participating. They've allowed this kind of attack. Why? Because if I'm the guy on the throne of Yahweh, I think the federal government saw it as a threat to them, instead of like, hey, we get, like, it would be like having Mecca, you know what I mean? Except like the Mecca for Christianity, like basically the replacement for the Catholic Church. You know what I mean? Like the one on the throne of the Catholic Church, on the throne of the Protestant Church, on the throne of Christianity, lives in Houston, Texas. You know what I mean? I'm going to suggest that's a bigger boon than, Lakewood Church, the biggest mega church being here. It's literally you know, like the one on the throne of Jesus lives in Houston. But I guess that came from some of that, like the not just authority, but the confirmation of that comes from what's going on with Alessandra. The fact that I do believe, in fact, that she is Jezebel, and from Revelation 2:20, and I believe Anja and Noah are going to die, like either die by natural causes or someone's gonna kill them or something. I'm not gonna go do it. I'm gonna be here, but I do think that, like, my manifestations of like, hey, I think these people are doing me evil, and I think the kids are participating. And if when I was 16, you considered it all right to attack me in this way, I don't think that they're protected because I wasn't protected. And I think that all the people who've been participating, the celebrities, Mel Gibson seemingly being connected through mocking via the Passion of the Christ, as well as through like literally being in, like, if we look up Daddy's Home too, right? If we go here, like, look at the cast. It literally starts with Alessandro Ambrosio and then Mel Gibson, and like I don't know, he plays her like boyfriend or something, or some bullshit like that. And so again, I think there's going to be a real issue with these actors who've been beating me over the head with, like, more daddies, more problems. That's the point, is they tried to replace me. I'm like these kids' actual biological father. They literally stole them from me and have been like abusing me psychologically with these kids. You know what I mean? With my own biological children. Um so it just is like really evil. It's really evil what they've done, but I think it's just a warning shot that this community burned down. And it seems like also a number of, Alessandra most recently, the most recent like replacement boyfriend dad or whatever for Alessandra and Alessandra's kids is literally Buck Palmer, who's like a surfer, and like it keeps popping up in my explore thing on Instagram, like like him doing surf stuff and her supporting him during doing surf stuff. No, she doesn't support me at all. But it's just a show. She doesn't actually care about this fucking idiot. He's just random guy number 4 or 5 in this string of guys, and like I said, it could be multiple of them. Like he could be identical twins. But what I was gonna say is that this is actually an article that I had pulled up a little earlier, and like even if I go to the history of things, like uh, like a bunch of surf people have been dying, and like one of the person's houses that burned down specifically, and he died in the fire, was some like crabman guy who's like a famous surf legend from, or like he's like beloved by surfers in Palisades. And it's like, look, I don't want innocent people to get hurt, but I'm innocent in this, and they've been abusing me, and this is the community of people that have been supporting and providing safe harbor for Alessandra and these kids. And it's really fucking evil. There's no excuse. You can't say like, well, Emilio tried to say, well, did they have good life? When I was trying to tell him, like, I think I have kids, it's like, did they do they have a good life? Did they have a good life? And it's like, to be honest, I think if I've been like raped and my kids stolen for like force bred, raped and I think force breeding is a form of rape. If they force bred me without my consent and permission when I was 16, they've held my kids, and I'm pretty sure they've been abusing my kids, like since they were been molesting my kids since they were young. And the idea is to turn Noah gay and turn Anja into a thought. And it's like, gay son or thought daughter. That was in the most recent Long Beach Griffey thing. And the guy goes, I think he says gay son. And it's like, look, I'm not judging him for being gay. I'm judging him for being on the side of my abusers when they've abused me. And probably the only reason he'd be gay anyway is they, like, did gay shit to him when he's younger, and it's just what he knows. So, like, I don't judge him for being abused. I judge him for participating in it, knowing how I've said his mom has raped me. He like, I think they know, and I don't think they're so young to not understand. It's not okay. I understood when I was that age. I remember even that was probably about the age that I learned this stuff. It is not okay for her to do what she's done to me. It's wrong. Um, this just popped up. It's wrong that they've done this. They're a bunch of rapists, and they deserve to die for this. And that's why I think Alessandra is Jezebel. Let's see actually what this is. Is it just popped up? Oh, he blasts disgusting Trump. Oh, it's another one of these celebrities in fucking you know, what's that called? In Los Angeles. Like, oh, I can't believe Trump. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, uh oh, and I sent these also to my mom, by the way. Manipulated images showing, whatever. And like, I think the whole thing is like, like I said, I think something more weird is going on than like maybe most people realize, or especially than they want me to realize. And I think it's disgusting that these people have done this to me, like Jimmy Kimmel, and like, in the sense that Jimmy Kimmel, like, there's no way that I think it's an open secret in Hollywood that they've done this, and I think they realize, like, yo, this whole community where they've been harboring them burned down, and it's only going to get worse and more evil for these people. Like, this is only the beginning. Like I said, we're 14 days into 2025, and it's going to be a wild ride up to my birthday, June 19th. And then after that, I mean, I really think that's, like, I don't believe we're that far off from the biblical 1260-day tribulation period. So, and since it says, Yahweh says in Revelation about Jezebel from Revelation 2:20, I'm going to kill her children with death and then throw her on. It says I'm going to throw her on a sickbed, but I think the idea is that she's been protected by Anja and Noah, like, however it works in weird, weird timeline / fucking magic world where they're just, trying to create a multiverse or some bullshit like that using kids that have been, like, force bred out of me or something. I think they die, and then I think that she doesn't have protection like she otherwise would, and because they're providing her some kind of, I'm going to say magical protection. I don't know. It could be something associated with AIs as well. But in any instance, I think they die, and then I think she gets sick and dies. And what it says is all the partners in adultery. So anybody who's like, I'm going to suggest Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, John Lithgow, Mel Gibson, John Cena, anybody in any of these things. Oh, look, Dylan Mayron. Isn't that the name of maybe My Other Son by Aline Ambrosio? Yeah, it is. So, my point with this is that, oh, Mark Wahlberg mentioned he wants to get Liam Neeson. Isn't that the name? Liam, isn't that the name of, I'm going to suggest Obi-Wan, or no, Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon Jinn. None of these supposed Jedi have as much, mastery of the Force, as Yoda. So, but I just think all this shit is evil. And, like, look, these smiley kind of fucking celebrities and stuff, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, you are under threat of death into infinite burning torture in association with how the Bible ends. And, like, Mark Wahlberg and stuff saying, oh, you got to stay prayed up. Staying prayed up is not going to help you in this situation. It's only going to condemn you further. I mean, it's like, do you not get that this is the end? No, they don't get that. So, you know what I mean? Mel Gibson wants to do Passion of the Christ, number 2, The Resurrection of the Christ, except he said it's going to be an LSD trip, Jesus on an LSD trip with their, because they're going to de-age Jim Caviezel, and I'm just like, this is the dumbest fucking group of people that have ever existed ever. You know what I mean? But and I do think it's also telling. You go to Daddy's Home and like the first person on the fucking cast list on Google is Alessandro Ambrosio, because that's the whole point of these movies, is to be literally something psychologically stressful and abusive towards me. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no other reason. So and around the time that this was released, I think, is when, or just after this, actually about 5 months after this was released, just close to that, is when Alessandro Ambrosio broke up with Jamie Mazur, who I think is like, dude, again, my whole point with this is after she dies, all those men don't have the protection of her and the Nicolaitans around her, the people who've been using her. And the Bible says they get that I'll put them into tribulation. Well, I think they're put into tribulation with the rest of, everybody, because I think that's when the biblical tribulation, 1260 days, begins. And I don't think it's a 7-year period. Else, it's already started if it's a 7-year period. But it doesn't say it's a 7-year period. It says 1260 days or 42 months or 3.5 years. And that's also what the book of Daniel says. So, which involves a court case. And I'm assuming it's because these people have used these undermined, evil, fucking rapist methods to, they've used these evil, rapist, fucking evil, disgusting methods to, steal my reality away from me. And they're using celebrities and fucking whatever else. The idea is like, that's why when Jezebel dies, I get the Morning Star. They're all stars. I'm going to have a bigger star than all of them, and I'm going to be able to be like, it's like Star Wars. I got Star Killer Base. You know what I mean? And whatever home planet they're on is going to get destroyed by Star Killer Base. You know what I mean? Um, and I mean, I really think this is the end for them. I think when it says I'm going to put them into tribulation, I think all these men who Alessandra have been using, and all her friends, and all these people around them, I think they all die. Unless they repent, and if they repent, they have to basically become witnesses to say, like, this is what's been going on, this is why this has been going on. Matt somehow figured it out. We thought he was an idiot, but all of a sudden he ends up being Yahweh on the throne, and we really fucked up, and we basically destroyed his life to steal from him and to hurt him and his family for no fucking reason, because we're evil people and we deserve death. But he's even giving us an opportunity to repent, and like, not just, you don't just die. It's like suiciding into infinite burning torture isn't just dying. You know what I mean? Like, it is forever. Your forever reality. And moreover, you gave up going to the kingdom of heaven where nobody dies and everything has more to like, whatever you have now, you'd have more in the kingdom of heaven. Can you imagine how fucking stupid you have to be to give that up for temporary we won, we conquered. And it's like, no, you got conquered. You got baited into a 2,000-year-old trap because you thought you were setting traps. And that's exactly how much of the book of Proverbs, how does it, like, do you notice how the book of Proverbs starts with it talking about traps? Because a lot of this is these people trying to be traps and set traps and steal from others. And so that's why, I'm going to suggest all these people are fucked. But anyway, all right, cool. Oh, wait. Mel Gibson, right? I just want to reiterate this. Didn't his house burn down in this fire? Yeah, it did. Perfectly burned down, as he said. And he only was spared because he came to the Joe Rogan podcast. I mean, he might have gotten out of it. I don't know. But at the same time, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he would have burned in his house. And, that honestly be what he deserves. But I think it's going to be more cold-blooded to see whatever these people, their empire of doing whatever, is just being torn down. You know what I mean? Like, they tried to tear me down and it didn't work, except their empire forever is going to be torn down. Hollywood's being burnt down, essentially. Babylon, burn down Babylon. Yeah, that's what's happening. So, all right, that's it. I'm gonna end this and one more thing. This is one of the articles that popped up. Let's see. I don't even think this is all the celebrities, but let's see. The celebrities that have tragically lost their homes to the LA wildfires. Oh, how tragic. By the way, did that show Mel Gibson down at the bottom real fast? I just wanna what does it have to say about Mel here? Long list of celebrities. So I'm gonna guess this is not a complete list of celebrities, but let's just see. Paris Hilton, famous for sucking dick. I guess she's also part of a family, but you know what I mean. Her fame came from one night in Paris. I don't even know who these people are. I don't even know who these people are. Other than I saw that this Heidi Montag girl was trying to cry, and she couldn't even get one damn tear out of her eye. It's like that Cat Williams thing talking about Conrad Murray. James Woods. He couldn't cry on fucking CNN. Matthew Perry. I don't know. Yolanda Hadid. She's intimately connected in this. Intimately. So, Bella Hadid and Gigi Hadid and whatever. So, congrats. Your house burned down. You're fortunate you weren't in it. I'm going to suggest this isn't the end of everything. Oh, Jamie. Look. Jamie Mazur. No, I mean Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie, look, that's even two of the men. Jamie Mazur and Rich Lee. Well, two of them gathered into one. And then there's Curtis. Billy Crystal. I don't know. Maybe not a part of this. This is also why I'm saying, like, I think all of Hollywood knew, but also at the same time, like, yo, if you knew and you didn't say anything, this is why. This is why, like, why would I give a fuck if your house burns down? If you all lit my life on fire and you basically tried to burn me alive internally, well, did it work? Oh, my Miss American Pie. Also, isn't he Jewish? I mean, maybe not, because, a lot of people are claiming to be Jewish, but they don't follow Yahweh, and, that's kind of a prerequisite to claiming Judaism, is that you follow the God Jew. I mean, Yahud. That's why in Arabic they say the Yahudim, because it's the Yahud follow Yahweh. Yeah. Anna Faris. Oh, scary movie. Wait, right? Is that the one? Is that the lady? Or maybe not. Lana Del Rey. Oh, wow. Or no, music video home. Milo. John Goodman. Diane Warren. I mean, like, it doesn't even bring up Mel Gibson, so I don't think that's a... Yo, this is the one where I clicked Mel Gibson, and now it's bringing up, oh, look, he's got an angry response. He's got an angry response, y'all. And also, look, this fake marriage finally broke up. Don't I live on Alba, or right off Alba Road? In the street, right over just down the street, isn't it Alba? Like, if I put the camera literally outside my window and hung it out, wouldn't it be Alba? I live off Alba? Is this Dark Angel? I'm just fucking around. I'm trying to, like, you get what I mean? I fuck around because this is how I mock this evil fucking situation. Look, Angelina Jolie, who's also participated in this. Wow. I'm just like, you could tell I'm like, ugh. Okay, Mel Gibson's home in Malibu was destroyed by the fire while he was away recording Joe Rogan's podcast in Texas. Wow. He was ill at ease during the podcast because he was aware that his neighborhood was on fire. And he's talking all this shit about, like, I don't know, what did he talk about? Passion of the Christ and Jesus and stuff. And it's like, yo, Jesus is not happy with what you've done. Jesus is willing to kill you. That's the whole point. It even says in my specific version, the Jerusalem Bible, the one that says the name Yahweh, it says that the sword that comes out of the mouth of the one who's sitting on the throne, Jesus, or the one who is granted to sit on the throne because of some Jezebel character like Alessandro Ambrosio, being attacking me and, me basically getting the throne of Jesus because of this. It very clearly says that the sword is to cut faithless Christians to pieces. Probably like I'm metaphorically doing right now because you're an evil piece of shit and you're not really a Christian. But okay, cool. Neat. Is there anything else here that I want to bring up? Yeah, I do. I brought up this guy, Crabman or whatever, but I'm gonna just show the video that I watched last night about this guy. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but I am going to bring it up. So if I go into my history, right, this is from, it says today, but it was this morning. There we go.
The life and legacy in Malibu tonight. Many are remembering the life and legacy of a local icon lost to the Palisades fire, known as the Malibu Man of Mystery.
And what a story he has. KCAL's Rena Nakano live on PCH, where his home, nicknamed the Crab Shack, once stood. Rena.
55-year-old Randy Maya.
By the way, I think all these people know about this, but you know what's going on, and they're just making it seem like this is some normal shit going on. But this is legitimately how I feel about this. Hold on. I've used this a little bit recently, but yeah, this is pretty much how I feel.
Was a man who truly lived his passion, which was surfing. He also embraced it so much that he loved the people who shared that passion with him. And this is where he spent most of his life, which is belovedly called the Crab Shack. He says that he was one of those people who did not discriminate between celebrities to people needing a meal. He was one of those guys that loved life itself. Todd Proctor was supposed to go to college, but at 18, his best friend told him he was too talented a surfboard shaper to go that path.
He's like, well, that's easy. Yeah, you need to quit school and make boards, man. Like, look at this. This is what you're supposed to do.
That friend was Randall Mayad.
Like, I don't know if this guy had anything to do with it. He could have, but like, my point is like, I don't want innocent people to die and get hurt, but I think it's an open secret that this has happened. I wouldn't be surprised if literally, like, these people, right, if they knew everything that was going on and they just weren't saying anything because they're evil, right? And, you know, seeing LA burn down is just like par for the course. It's just like what happens because you guys are acting really evil and you're harboring these people who raped me as a child. And you're not engaging it, even though you're supposed to be the news, right?
We got to make sure you get home. So just like, we're here surfing all day. So just surf for as long as you want.
Mayad was belovedly known as the Craw by his local surf community because his arms naturally arched inward like a crawfish. He later embraced that nickname. Since his late teens, he'd lived in this...
Y'all can blame all of this on Buck Palmer and Alessandro Ambrosio. They brought this evil on you, right? You get that, right? What, are you going to blame God for judging some evil people doing evil shit? I mean, fat chance that's going to work. However, you could get some justice by dealing with Alessandro Ambrosio in a very harsh way for acting like this and doing this. Dealing with these celebrities, Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg, who made movies specifically to beat me over the head with this woman who's raped me and has stolen my children away from me. You can get some justice by dealing with them harshly.
Little red home off...
Calling them out on their rapey fucking evil behavior. You know what I mean? Your community's burned down because of it. And it looks like to me like they're gonna, I don't know if I think what's gonna happen is the FBI is doing some reporting, and if they don't come back and say that it's arson, I think something is gonna prove that it's arson and that they didn't do a good job. So they're gonna have to come out and say it's arson, and that's gonna affect people's ability to get insurance payouts. So on top of the entire community burning down, when it comes out that someone said it, now, did I said it? I was here in Houston. I have no culpability to this, other than very clearly I can affect the weather, and I did not rain on them. I brought some winds. Or did I? It seems like Yahweh did. I'm just making a point, you know what I mean? Like, you can see me doing lightning stuff in my videos. That's kind of indisputable at this point. But Yahweh is the one who controls the weather, right? And so if Yahweh decided, well, 100-mile-per-hour winds are appropriate for this place. They keep calling them the devil's winds. The devil doesn't control it. Like, they've called them the devil's winds on the news multiple times. The devil doesn't control the weather. I think there's a short bit of time in the book of Revelation where fire from the sky is some miracle that can be done by Satan and his minions, but much like the whole Baal thing, because it's written in Revelation that that's the case, Revelation 13. And I think that's the Surah 2782 beast from the earth thing that Islam raises. And Islam is just the God, the Allah, Baal from the Old Testament. So, and he's not really a god, but my whole point is like in the Old Testament, he's called a god because the people called him a god. So Yahweh makes that point like, well, they aren't really gods. And any of the gods who didn't make the heavens and the earth, so anybody but Yahweh isn't going to be under the heavens. They're going to vanish from under the heavens and on the earth. But okay. So, I don't hate surfers. I don't hate skaters. I don't hate anybody on a board or, whatever sport you do. I don't really hate people. I don't like that these people have done this evil to me, and I want them to get what they deserve. If you don't think that this guy is this guy a good guy, or was he participating in this? If he wasn't, I can point out exactly who in your community is culpable for this. Exactly who. And there's quite a few, but most of them are celebrities, not normal people. So this guy seems like a normal person. He seems like like any guy that I might know from the skate park over that used to be by my house here. You know what I mean? It's kind of gentrified around here, but you know what I'm saying? Like any guy from Dirtwood skate park, or any guy that like I've ever met skating or snowboarding or whatever. I don't surf, but I do those things. So he just reminds me of any of them. And or like John Hill or Dale Decker, you know what I mean? The YouTubers. Like he reminds me of just, skater dude. And he's a surfer dude that's not too different in my opinion, but okay.
PCH, known as the Crab Shack. He had an open door policy to anyone who needed a break from the waves or a place to crash. His only rule was good vibes only.
He loved people.
This is my thing. I don't hate good vibes only. The issue is good vibes only doesn't actually fix the world's problem. Jesus does. Jesus is the purveyor of good vibes. Yahweh is the purveyor of good vibes. Sometimes bad vibes have to be brought in on evil people, though. And sometimes people who maybe didn't participate get hurt. Did any of these people participate? I mean, if they know about it and they didn't say anything, what does that mean? You know what I mean? What does that mean to anybody, right? What does that mean to me? That just means they're tacitly participating, right? But I don't want innocent people to be hurt. If they're actually innocent, you know what I mean? I would say you bring judgment on Alessandra Ambrosio. Street judgment on Alessandra and Anja and Noah Ambrosio. They don't treat me like I'm dad. Daddy can be home. I can be home, but I'm here in Houston. They aren't here. You know what I mean? So I would say bring judgment on them for this kind of thing, right?
Like, you hear that word thrown around, but he really did.
Living in the spot for more than 30 years, he'd lived through so many natural disasters, from fires to mudslides to tsunamis and even rock slides. KCAL News interviewed him in February when this large boulder narrowly missed his home.
So 10 o'clock Sunday night, I'm just chilling, watching TV, and then I hear a kaboom!
And that's why Proctor believes he didn't evacuate.
His last few things was, I'm fine, and he was joking, and I've been through this before, don't worry about me.
But this time, the flames engulfed the Crab Shack with him inside. Proctor says his death is an immeasurable loss to the community.
Thank you, girl. Brighten up my life, encourage me, brighten up everybody's life.
And back out here live, we couldn't help but notice this one garden chair that is still sort of standing despite all of its materials melted out. You could just imagine how many times he had sat on that chair with those many, many friends and companions that came out here to the Crab Shack to just enjoy life. And I asked also Proctor how many people he thought maybe came through this Crab Shack. He says hundreds. It has to be in the thousands. So that's the kind of man that Randolph Mine is. Reporting live out here in Malibu tonight, I'm Rena Nakano.
Seems like he was a friend to many.
So well loved. Saw another interview with a friend of his, and just the stories are remarkable. Thank you.
So, I mean, if that guy didn't participate, and maybe he didn't even know, but as this comes out publicly, like, again, I would suggest you bring. I don't think the courts are going to bring justice on Alessandro Ambrosio and Anja and Noah Ambrosio and Mel Gibson and these fucking evil people. Buck Palmer. Is he a real surfer if he caused this? Is Buck Palmer, is that, yeah, I'm a surfer man. I'm a surfer dude, yeah. It's like, really? Because you seem like a lame fucking abusive shithead that is causing, untold sorrows for all these people because you want to assert over the mother of my children who raped me as a minor here in Houston, Texas, or who force bred me, right? But again, that's a form of rape. I don't really care what women would have to say about it. You know what I mean? I think anybody who's a real woman, who's not like who doesn't have some agenda like Imrata or something, would have to admit, like, you can't do that to someone, especially not a 16-year-old kid. And I don't even know that that's not the first time that it happened to me. I just know that this is the most probably prevalent and obvious example, and probably the most evil example. I think the Chrome Hearts people know too. Jesse Joe Stark and Frankie B. Stark. Chrome Hearts people. Didn't I make mixes with them? Yeah, I did. How long ago? About 2,520 days. That's double 1,260. Yeah, about 2,520 days ago. Anyway, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can watch this thing yourself, you can, right there. But, okay, well, cool. Look, Trump goes a-conquering. I'm watching more of this guy, huh? This is only the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? I'm going to suggest that this gets more difficult. This might not even be the last fire of the year for even this area. You know what I mean? Do I want innocent people to get hurt? I need this over. I need justice. I want justice. You should too, to the surfing community. Probably most of you aren't complete shitheads like Buck Palmer and, whoever is helping Alessandro Ambrosio. Because probably all you want to do is surf and have good vibes. Guess what? You could do that in the kingdom of heaven forever. What they're offering, they aren't offering anything better. They're offering, probably to you guys, nothing but sadness and evil. So I would suggest that, like, hey, if there are real people in Los Angeles, that you do something about these douchebag fucking evil celebrities. Look, this has come up right as I'm saying that. I want to show you on that, but it kind of passed by too fast, so. Good vibes, right? Peace sign, heart, duality, yin yang. Anyway, just kind of dicking around here. It's how I stay sane. Am I sane? I don't know. I might have hit the pause button again. But anyway, my whole point is that's how I stay sane. And then I asked, am I sane? Look, Jay Leno speaks about helping California wildfire victims. It's an entire city wiped out. I think a bunch of the Disney animation artists lived in that city too, is what I read. Or did I read it? Well, let's see. It's in my screenshots. I took some screenshots of it here. You can just pause and see what it says. But yeah, it says seemingly that a bunch of along with its beaches, mountains, and tourist destinations, California is primarily known as the epicenter of the entertainment world, as many of our favorite celebrities joined countless residents who've lost their homes in the wake of fires. Many other victims include members of the animation community across multiple studios. Well, using the movie industry to beat me over the head with, rapey fucking behavior is not okay. Janae Aiko lost her home too, right? Remember, she's the one who, sings on that song Terrorist Threats. Now, this to me seems like counterterrorism to these people who would be bought and sold by fucking, some kind of control system to abuse me. Does that make me the top dog? More like the top cat, huh? Anyway, remember, the dogs are outside the kingdom of heaven in the infinite burning torture. You would not want to be a dog in this situation. You want to be a kitty cat. Meow meow. All right, that's it. I'm gonna end this here. Have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. This sucks because, I would like my mom to believe me and help me, but I guess probably I'm thankful Yahweh does. So, anyway, have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. And, if you want, like I want justice, if they want justice for the Craw, right? What's his name here? Randall. If you want justice for that guy, if he didn't participate in this and these people have brought the condemnation and judgment of Yahweh down on that community and your community, why don't you bring some justice down on Alessandra and Anja and Noah Ambrosio? They are not under my protection. They are evil to me. They treat me evilly. They specifically are fine with making a point that Alessandra has raped me as a here in Texas, I'm a minor or a child when that happens to me at 16. So, you know what I mean? Like, they did it to a minor or a child. And then they want to make evil points about me. Like, they've been attacking me since my childhood. I haven't had any normal form of sexuality. I haven't had any normal form of really existence. So, because these evil people. And they crippled me. It had to be around the early 2000s. And I think it started 7 years before that. So you can guess how old I had to have been when this started. Anyway, that's it. Also, speaking of grooming gangs, I think the idea is it's some kind of American celebrity grooming gang. And the idea is they took my children from me and then they gave my kids to whoever would abuse them to hurt me. So I would suggest, if you don't want more evil brought down on you, you take care of these people. You either bring this out publicly or you just deal with them harshly. Judge them and then they're gone, That would be wise. But I don't know. People don't seem to have wisdom these days. But anyway, all right, have a blessed one. Catch you next time. Later, y'all. Yeah.